Hi, I'm Amy Kayne, and I'm a chef here in Maine. While I do enjoy the occasional vodka martini, always shaken, not stirred, I actually enjoy cooking with vodka even more. We've all heard of vodka pasta sauce, but today I want to show you how vodka is more versatile than you may think. By adding a relatively small amount to this classic beef stroganoff recipe, you can release hidden flavors locked away in everyday ingredients. It's a guaranteed crowd pleaser on a cold winter's night or up in the mountains after a day of skiing. Let's get started. In a sauté pan, on a medium heat, add butter and let it melt. I love that sound. So you can use any fat. You can use even bacon fat. But we're gonna melt the butter now. Probably takes about 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, and then we're gonna add the shallots. Shallots is kind of like a mixture between garlic and onions. And then we're gonna add the thyme. The reason why I'm adding the thyme now is because it's gonna help flavor the fat that we're using, which is butter. This is a super easy recipe that you can do after work, and then adding a little spirits to it kind of gives it a nice little kick. We're gonna add our spirits, which is vodka that we're using. Can you hear it? The best part about doing this is smelling all the alcohol. Now that the vodka is reduced, the next step is to add the mushrooms. And then we're gonna stir this up, and again, for 3 minutes. So we're just gonna keep going. The mushrooms are actually gonna be caramelized by this gorgeous butter. One of my favorite things is the smell of onions. That's really the only thing you need to do is cook onions in your house and people think you're the best chef ever. So now that we have the mushrooms reduced, we're gonna add the steak. I actually don't mind using my hands when I'm touching steak, but be sure you have a cloth close by because you just don't want to contaminate everything. After you've added the steak, this is the part where all the flavors are gonna go together. The steak is gonna take on the flavor of the mushrooms are gonna take the flavor of the steak. What else are we gonna do right now? We're gonna season, because now's the perfect time to season the steak while it's in here. All right, and then we're gonna stir it around a little bit. Now that the steak is actually cooking, you're gonna take your egg noodles, make sure that they're ready to go, they're cooked, and you're gonna save the pasta liquid. This pasta liquid is really good because it's starchy and it will help blend all the flavors together and thin out the sour cream when you add the sour cream. It smells so good. The great thing about using a really good cut of steak, if you have it a little medium rare, it's totally fine, just like you would if it was a medium rare steak. I don't like the steak overcooked because it really kind of ruins the flavor. So now for the thickening agent, we're gonna use sour cream. I love like a really good sour cream, but if you're dairy free, you can actually use like a coconut cream that you can add in and still keep it that creamy consistency and dairy free. This is awesome for so many reasons. You're not only adding something that's creamy and is gonna spread everything out, but it actually is so great because it gives this great texture and like silky smooth, like on the noodles. Don't you want this right now? It just smells so good. So now that the sour cream is melted, one other thing we're gonna do, just like we've done the whole time, is we're gonna add salt. I'm adding kosher salt. I use kosher salt all the time. I like how it's not super intense flavor and you can really control it. So when you're using things like even the butter was unsalted, I really like controlling the salt content. So you could plate this in 2 different ways. You just got home from work, you want to just do family style, everybody help themselves. You can just take your noodles, put it into a nice bowl, and add all these ingredients right on top, and they can help themselves. The way I like to do it is to get the egg noodles into the pan and mix it together so every noodle is getting that delicious flavor throughout. And then when I'm plating it, I make sure that the steak and the mushrooms are like on the top. So we have the egg noodles, the beef, the mushrooms, and this gorgeous vodka creamy sauce. And now we just need a little pop of color. So we're gonna add the pink peppercorns and thyme, mix it all together, and we're good to go. So let's plate it. So now you have everything together. Here's the plate, 20 minutes, super easy, with your spirits. What more could you ask for? Enjoy. For more delicious recipes, visit mainespirits.com.